Welcome into Outkick the Show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope all of you are having fantastic Tuesdays. I hope you had a stellar Memorial Day weekend wherever you may have been. I hope you went to the beach. I hope you lived your life. I hope you aren't running around like your hair is on fire right now. Everything is moving in a really good direction. I want to start off by saying thank you. To everyone who allowed us to have a long Memorial Day weekend. I know we have moved in this country from actually storming the beaches of Normandy and fighting Nazis to calling people who say things that make you mad on Twitter Nazis. But thank you to people who actually put their lives on the line on a daily basis, both now and in the past, who actually do things as opposed to sitting around on social media whining about other people all day long. Several different things that we need to get to, but I want to start off with the coronavirus. Corona bros are running for the hills. They're back in their mom and dad's basements, worried that they're going to have to go back to their minimum wage jobs because the data is out. And the coronavirus's ass has officially been kicked. Now, I'm going to put up an article as soon as I finish this show. I went in and I was like, you know what? I want to actually look at the 2018 flu data. 2018 flu came and killed tens of thousands of people. Over under. How many states have had more deaths from the 2018 flu, of which most of you didn't even know it occurred, compared to the coronaviruses? I'm curious out there. 2018 flu, what would your guess be? 34 states had more deaths from the 2018 flu than they've had from the coronavirus. And most of you didn't even know the 2018 flu happened. And if you are under the age of 50, you were far more likely to have died from the 2018 flu than you have been from the coronavirus. That is pretty wild. Most people out there didn't even know the 2018 flu season happened. Nobody changed their behavior at all. And in 34 of our 50 states, more people died from the 2018 flu. In fact, the 2018 flu was far more devastating to young people, to people in college, to people of youthful ages. It took far more years of life, in other words, than the coronavirus has. It's wild to me that almost no one even knows the 2018 flu happened, and yet with the coronavirus, we got people running around out there taking pictures of people if they don't have masks on. It's absolutely crazy to me. So here's the latest data. On Sunday, 654 people died. I wish no one died. I wish death did not occur. I wish all of us could be immortal. But 654 people died on Sunday. Yesterday, on Monday, 523 people died of the coronavirus. Today, on Tuesday, which is typically a massive jump day, we are going to have around the same number of people that are going to die as died in those past 2 days. Now, what is that in context? Around 7,500 people die every day in the United States, 365 days a year. So right now, our national obsession is with the coronavirus, which represents around 5 or 6% of the overall deaths that are happening every day. That's even assuming that all of those deaths are from the coronavirus. We as a nation, I'm not sure, have ever made less sense from a social policy perspective than with the decisions that have been made about the coronavirus. It is past the time to end the shutdown everywhere in the country and let people go back to work. The data reflects that the states that have opened back up, they haven't seen a surge in deaths. In fact, things are actually going down. And so this whole process is utterly insane. And I want to tie it into sports in this way. It makes no sense that Major League Baseball in particular, I'm going to start with Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball, their union, their owners, their players, they've all blown it. Major League Baseball should have been playing for a month already. We've got Little League Baseball starting up all over the nation, and Major League Baseball players are still curled up in the fetal position, some of them worried about whether they're going to get this virus. Major League Baseball should be starting back up right now. It should have started back up 2 weeks ago. The idea that they aren't able to get something worked out and start playing now in their home stadiums, I think it's possible by August, if you look at the data, that they could be playing back in front of crowds. I don't understand how Major League Baseball can't get things back up and running. This is lunacy. I don't care whether you're an owner. I don't care whether you're a player. I don't care whether you're a member of the media. Same thing is true of the NBA. The fact that the NBA can't figure things out. They're talking about the NBA going to Disney World. That's fine, but they're talking about not starting to play games till late July. They're going to be able to play games at their home arenas by late July. There might not be crowds present, but they have waited so long. If you look at the data, there's a very good chance right now, based on the trend lines that we are on, there's going to be almost very minimal. I mean, I just said 654, 523. We're talking about 500 people a day right now dying from the coronavirus. If these trend lines continue, even if they don't, that's a small fraction of the number of people that are dying every day in this country. The fact that Major League Baseball and the NBA can't get this worked out, it appears to hockey's credit that they're going to announce that they are returning, and they're going to announce today. Give credit to hockey, but think about all the obstacles hockey has compared to Major League Baseball and the NBA. Hockey is international. There are a lot of teams in Canada. Hockey requires a massive amount of physical contact. Hockey requires ice on an ice skating rink as opposed to just needing a freaking basketball court, which is everywhere, or a baseball field, which is everywhere too. Baseball naturally socially distances. Basketball is relatively easy to find to play anywhere in the country. There are people playing basketball all over the country. My kids are going to start up a basketball league on June 1 in Tennessee, and we're talking about the NBA not being able to return for 2 months after my kids. Kids in you were talking about kids in Little League? Kids in Little League are 20 times as likely to die of the flu. If you are young, if you are college age, you are more likely to be struck by lightning than you are to die of the coronavirus. And yet we got people saying, oh, no, we can't play college football. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But it's like actual facts and evidence doesn't matter, because all that matters is the fear porn. Everybody has to be fearful and running around. They can't look at the data. They can't understand what is true, which is if you are under the age of 50, which almost 2/3 of the United States population is, you are under more danger every single year than the seasonal flu. And the reason why so many people have died is primarily because the governors of New York, New Jersey, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Illinois, almost all Democratic governors followed the disastrous lead of Andrew Cuomo and put all of their most sick nursing home patients back in nursing homes where it spread like wildfire. It's like, I don't really understand how people can't comprehend that these governors, in particular starting in New York, were unmitigated disasters. 34 states have less deaths right now than from the 2018 flu. New York City basically was a disaster, the worst city in the world. And they have a Democratic mayor and they have a Democratic governor, and it's like people won't actually hold those people accountable. But they made the decision to put elderly people who were in nursing homes and had the coronavirus back into the nursing homes, which is why their death rate skyrocketed. Young people, people who are healthy, nobody was dying of this. Nobody still is as a percentage. You're far more likely to die of the seasonal flu. Yet most in the media won't even talk about it. It's wild to me that most in the media won't even discuss why the death rate as it is directly retained and connected to nursing homes. Nursing homes, almost half of all deaths in the United States have come from nursing homes. It's unbelievable. It's wild. Stock market is on fire. Why is the stock market on fire? Because intelligent investors have realized that the coronavirus is effectively over and that the vast majority of the United States population is not in danger from the coronavirus. So we have gone, I hope you bought stocks, I hope you listened to me. We have gone from 18,000 to over 25,000. It is surging again today. I hope you bought the stocks that I told you to buy, because if you did, you have made a decade's worth of profit in the space of about 2 months. I quoted back in the day, go back and watch the old shows. I said, just like Warren Buffett says, be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. It's wild. If you just listened to me and blindly invested in stocks for the first time in your life, you've made 3 or 4 times your money in a couple of months. It's wild. It's almost never going to happen in our lives. I really do think we had the best buying opportunity of our lives. And most people were afraid to do it. Most people were afraid to do it. I actually feel bad for people who were too fearful. I want to give credit. Credit to Tiger and Phil, to Peyton Manning, and to Tom Brady for the golf event that they put on. Was it Sunday? Sunday. That was phenomenal television. And what golf doesn't understand, it's the highest rated golf event on cable in the history of the sport. Why did it do so well? Because golf is fun. Playing golf with sticklers is not fun. And so what they represented in that foursome, in that competition, was finding a really fun way to play golf that looks like what you and your buddies playing golf looks like. A lot of bad shots. Sometimes really atrocious shots. Tom Brady, God bless him, had some awful, awful shots. And at times looked downright incompetent. This is utterly, utterly entertaining. Golf is a fun sport. But it's a fun sport when you don't allow the sticklers to dictate everything. And I think golf should have more events like these. Charles Barkley was great on the call. So was everyone else who was involved in it. It was really, really, really a lot of fun. And I'm not surprised it dominated. Props to all 4 of those guys. They raised $20 million. Just utterly, thoroughly fantastic. And it was incredibly well done. Just phenomenally well done. Props to Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. I watched. I thought it was spectacularly well done. Also, the president of the University of Michigan came out and said he didn't think that they were going to play football basically this fall. First of all, Michigan's going to play football. Everybody is going to play football. If you look at the data, I think there's a good chance that fans are going to be in the stadiums come September. All right? As I just said, we're down to 654, down to 523. Those are the past 2 days of deaths in the coronavirus. The amount of testing is surging, and the amount of percentage positive test is declining at a rapid rate, okay? All of those things mean that by September, we could easily have fans in the stadiums. Now, everybody's like, what do you mean by fans in the stadium? Like, I want you to think about this. We have rapidly progressed from, is there going to be football this fall? And remember, a lot of the Corona bros in sports media who make their living in sports, they're like, oh, we're never going to play sports again. Go ahead and push on to 2021. Everything is gone here. And in the space of about 2 weeks, we went from college football might not happen, is college football going to happen, to the NFL and college football are happening. In 2 more weeks, I don't think it's crazy that we'll be sitting around talking about how full can we make the stadiums, right? That's the conversation now. By July 4th, the next holiday in the summer, if the trend lines continues, everything's going to look pretty good. And we're going to start to think about what the stadiums can look like in terms of crowds, okay? That's my prediction based on the data. But we don't need to decide that right now. It's May. We don't need to decide it in June. By July 4th, we can start to talk about it a little bit. I think it's lunacy, all right, to have crowds for preseason football games. I think you got to punt on that idea. But I think by the time the NFL schedule gets here, I think there are going to be fans in the stadium. I would be very surprised if there aren't fans in the stadium. What exactly that'll look like, I think it'll be fun to check out. But Michigan's idiot president, this is what happens. You go ask 200 school presidents, what do you think is going to happen? They all say the same thing, and then the one guy who says something different becomes the story, right? The 199 saying, hey, we're going to play football this fall, they aren't the news. The one guy who says they aren't, he is the news at the University of Michigan. They will force that guy out at the University of Michigan if they have to over playing football. Jim Harbaugh will put him on his shoulders, walk him out, and throw him into where can he throw him? My wife went to the University of Michigan. He will throw him out of the University of Michigan's campus if he needs to. All right? If Ohio State is playing, which they are doing, Michigan is going to be playing. Write it in stone. It's going to happen. Dive into it. The University of Michigan is going to play as long as Ohio State plays. But you know what? If Michigan doesn't play, then at least there's one positive. Jim Harbaugh can't lose to Ohio State for, what is it, a 7th straight year? Whatever the heck it is. Michigan's not going to beat Ohio State this year either. They can't do it when they're playing at home. They're not going to do it on the road. This is relatively easy. I flew. People say, why are you so public about your life right now during the coronavirus? I think it's important. I think it's important for me not only to tell you what I'm doing, but to tell you the way that I am living. I believe the economy is the biggest threat we have right now, not the coronavirus. The fact that nearly 40 million people have lost their jobs, the fact that a ton of otherwise young and healthy people are terrified to actually come outside of their homes. I spent nearly 3 weeks, much of May, down at my beach place in Florida. I was on the beach almost every day. I was in swimming pools. I was out to restaurants every night, okay? I just went back down with my wife for Memorial Day weekend. Went out to restaurants, spent the days on the beach, flew on airplanes. I got on an airplane, Southwest Airlines in Nashville on Saturday, flew right down to Panama City Beach. Flight was pretty full. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but there were people sitting in the middle row seats. Flew back. The airplane was even more full. My advice to all of you, stop consuming the fear porn. If you're under 50 and healthy, you have zero to fear. Stay away from old people if you're worried about being asymptomatic, but live your life. I got on the airplane. There were tons of people on the airplane. We all went down to the beach. We had an incredible time, and then we came back. I would fly on the airplane everywhere. In fact, you can ask my wife. I saw that the Nashville flight to London was still going. I love it in London in the summer, and I was like, holy crap, they still have the nonstop direct flight out of Nashville going to London? If that's still continuing, I bet I can get a hell of a deal on that. We can take a vacation over in England because England is kicking the coronavirus's ass too. Later this summer, I wouldn't mind going to England or other international destinations because I've actually looked in the data and we don't have anything to fear here. Okay? Casinos are opening back up, somebody just said. I would be very happy to get on an airplane and fly to Las Vegas and stay in a casino. In fact, if somebody is watching this at a Las Vegas casino and you want to give me money to play blackjack on all day as a part of a marketing deal, I will be happy to get on an airplane, fly to Las Vegas, stay in a hotel, gamble the entire time in the casino, and turn around and fly back home. I will eat in your restaurants. I will tweet about it. I am very, very confident that the data reflects that I will be fine and that my family will be fine. Now, if I'm wrong and I get sick, the data reflects that I'll be fine. But at some point, I'm going to die. I'm 41. I hope it's years and years into the future. But I don't want to give up my life in the meantime. You've got to make smart decisions by looking at the data. That's what I tell my kids to do. They're 12, 9, and 5. That's what I tell my wife that we're going to do. That's what you all have to do as well. We can't live forever in fear. As Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. He was right. Don't allow fear to govern your life. Live it. Look at the data. If you're under 50, you're going to be fine. If you're a freaking college-age kid, you're more likely to be struck by lightning than you are to die of the coronavirus. Even if you live in this country, 34 of our 50 states, 34 of our 50 states had more deaths from the 2018 flu. This is crazy. I just don't understand it. I appreciate all of you. My name is Clay Travis. This has been Outkick the Show. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for listening to the show. I'll be back on radio tomorrow. I took a couple of days off to go down to the beach. Went canoeing and kayaking with the kids this morning. I am living the life that I am telling you guys to live. It's time to get back to normal, okay? Don't buy in to the fear porn. There are tons of people out there who want to terrify you. They will find, if there's 20 stories, they will find the worst and they will share it widely. It isn't representative of real life. The numbers continue to die in a substantial fashion. The numbers are plummeting. I appreciate all of you. Live your life. Don't live it in fear. Don't be a Corona bro. My name is Clay Travis. I told you optimists always win. I hope you bought stock like I did, and I hope you have ridden it to great personal gain. If you did, props for not giving in to fear and doom and gloom. Love all of you. My name is Clay Travis. This has been Outkick the Show. DBAP, unless you need to SBAP. Love you guys. See y'all. Love you, Facebook. See you guys.